Good morning, all. Good to see you, Greg. I've not seen that video. I'll have to look for it. Greg sharing that Elon did a video on the rift between Trump and Green. Well, hopefully it's actually him and not some kind of AI knockoff thing again. Boy, we're getting a lot of those lately. Hello, Ray. Not much updates today. We will share what is there and what is expected. Fun Paul's brother's birthday. Happy birthday to him. Hello, Fluffy Pup. Hello, Valerie. Mr. Lee, Mr. Jensen, Rum Doctor. Hello, Cheryl, Mr. Bodie, K. Chris, JK Half Pint. Hello, Miss Charlotte. Hello, Hoops and Bob. You're like me and you're getting to the age where your body just feels sluggish and off all the time, then listen up, because recently I wasn't feeling great and I decided to call my friend, Dr. Josh, for some help. I told him what was going on. His response kind of shocked me. He said that I was showing all the telltale signs of a clogged liver. You've probably already heard about how important your liver is for detoxification, digestion, and energy levels. Here's the thing. Most people have no idea how clogged and overburdened their liver actually is. Eating processed foods, drink, even stress, these things can all take a toll, leaving your liver clogged. And it's important not to let this go unchecked, because your liver is the most important organ in your body, being responsible for the proper function of nearly every system in your body, from digestion to metabolism to detoxification. Essentially, a healthy liver equals a healthy you. That's why Dr. Josh, a practicing attorney with over 20, practicing doctor with over 25 years of medical experience and expertise, formulated a special liver supplement called Ultra Liver that acts like a deep cleanse for your entire body. Told me Ultra Liver has sold over 500,000 bottles and growing. Received thousands of five-star reviews from happy customers and patients. That's when I'd heard enough and ordered some. Last few weeks I've been taking. Happy to say it has made a substantial difference. Saying goodbye to things like chronic fatigue, bloating, skin issues. Say hello to renewed energy, clear thinking. Body that's operating at 100% again. Powerful stuff. Amazed at how much better it helps me feel. But again, you can't get results like this from any liver supplement. Dr. Josh has put 25 plus years into developing it to make certain it does what he says it's going to do. So if you're ready to unclog your liver and flush dangerous toxins that are sapping your energy and preventing you from losing weight, just go to tryultraliver.com/MarkZ to get your hands on Ultra Liver today. Plus, right now, he's got up to 50% off sale going on Ultra Liver for a limited time yet. You can find this at tryultraliver.com/MarkZ. The link is in the description on YouTube and Rumble. Hello, Susie Q. Daily Word. Oh, Jerry, good call, buddy. Jerry reminding everybody, just saying safe travels for the holiday week, Thanksgiving week. Many of you going to spend it with family and friends. Some of you guys alone. I was planning on popping on Thursday morning just for a hello for those that are home alone. Hello, Christ's child. Hello, flight level and splurge. Brenda, I like that one. My holiday will be awesome. I don't have to cook. I like cooking though for Thanksgiving. I do. Hello, Mama Bear. A Daily Word. Thanks for wearing the UK shirt. University of Kentucky. Hello, South Carolina. It's good to see the Clofers or Cloffers. Hello, Marcy. Marcia Leitner, the website to buy Finban Ivor. That one, it's biozox.com. Biozox.com/MarkZ. I'm getting that link for you to drop in. It should automatically give you 25% off, but if not, make certain you punch in the code MarkZ. And there, Grumpy was already to the rescue for you with it in chat. Oh, MZ, okay. I knew there was a discount. 25% is a huge discount when something's that pricey. It is all American product, produced, bottled, all that good stuff. One of the few out there that you know came from a reputable location. Oh, what's Miss Kukla doing in the house on a Monday morning? Jen, putting my bird in the oven this weekend. Fresh cranberries today. Donna, well, you're a little early yet on all the news, but I'll give you the short no. There's no good bond news for you. No bad, no bond news, just no real bond news yet this week or this morning. How about those Bears? Bite me. No, congratulations to you Bears fans. Our third string quarterback just wasn't enough. Although really can't blame our offense. One of the weakest offenses in the NFC, and we still put up 28 points. It's our defense that was lacking. Son does the turkey, daughters-in-law do the rest. I just furnished the place and table settings. Nana, that's not a bad gig. Not a bad gig at all. Jan, that insurance from a couple months ago was, oh man, am I going to sit here? I'm going to forget. Impact Health. The founder of the company is interested in coming back on so we can explain with rising insurance premiums, etc. We were considering having him on to explain it in hopes that we could save people a lot of money. Ron celebrated the 39th for the 32nd time. Congratulations. Oh, chocolate chip cream pie. I don't know what that is, but I want it. Yeah, whatever happened? What was the final on that Dallas and Eagles game? The Eagles were just shellacking them last time I looked at it. I mean, shellacking them. I don't know if Dallas made a run back, tried to find some respect. They were getting like brutalized in the beginning of the game. Well, Mickey, it's true. All right. Our quarterback, Rudolph, bounce back fourth, keeps turning up like a bad penny. Arguably one of the worst backup quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah. It's true. A loss is still a loss, but 3 points. Dallas won. Wow, that means they came ripping back. Good for them. Last minute field goal. Good for them. Packers, Vikings. Yeah, who's tonight? Yeah, I like it. I'm surprised. I don't know if they're just hoping that they can either sell Aaron later or that he might recover in time for the playoffs. Got the fracture on his left wrist, his non-throwing wrist. Lions won. Wow, I'm stunned at the Dallas coming back. That's awesome for them. I do the mashed potatoes, the smoked turkey, and the ham. That's always my responsibility for Thanksgiving. Panthers, 49ers. Are the 49ers still as bad as they started the season? Beautiful. Happy birthday. Chris, what do Canadians do this Thursday other than wish they were Americans? Okay, that's too funny. When is the date for you folks up in Canada land? When is your Thanksgiving? I'm pretty certain you've already had it. Bowler with some humor, and then it's going to be time to jump in. We're just hitting that 10-minute mark. Humor, isn't that what a quarterback does? As soon as the football is hiked, the quarterback, he backs up. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get that joke. Salt and Mud, are you aware that Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota is backing the THC manufacturers and a bill to legalize I really think there's a good chance you will see Trump legalize. I think you're going to get a blend of this bill. I think you're going to see him do away with anything that is either synthetic or could be perceived as synthetic. There's two different ways to come up with D8. One of them's very synthetic. It's about the only cost affordable way. The other ones like D10s, all these other derivatives, I think you're going to see them made illegal. And I think you'll end up seeing decriminalization on the other front. That's what I think you'll see. The back and forth has been very interesting. The Oregon Ducks won again. The Bengals are toast. Did we finish them off last week? And they're just going to go ahead and admit it and start pushing up daisies for the season. I've been watching all the news in Minnesota on the corruption. The Somali people in Minnesota are sending that money to Al Qaeda in Somalia. What a bunch! Yeah, we were sharing articles on that last week. Trump took that to a new level this weekend. Let's talk about it, along with other news. Wait, I don't know why we've got that one up here. That's the Biozox thing when somebody asked for it. Ooh, I did want to share this, guys. I meant to share it last week. You all had shared it with me. If you want to trade like the best in the business, they track your politicians. You know, the people that are all over there trading with insider knowledge from the government, those people, or in my opinion, they are. This site tracks it over at Unusual Whales, tracks the Congressional Trading Report so that you can learn how Congress beat the market. You want to follow any U.S. politician's portfolio easily? Use your portfolio page. Isn't this pretty neat? Guys, I mean, they out-trade Warren Buffett. They got a lot of inside stuff. I just thought it'd be a neat one to share for you guys. We should probably start a fund. All we do is trade Congress. All right, now let's get into the real news. Let's hit the news time banner. Again, on the bond side, very quiet, as expected. From the banking side, I am expecting a number of updates. This past weekend, we just embraced our new ISO, or 20022, whatever that one is, that I always mess up. Launched over the weekend. I'm expecting a lot of banking updates today as we see how the banking world goes. So I'm very excited about that front and the potential it brings us. We just don't have updates yet. It is not far enough along in the banking day to have those updates. Now we're going to go off to Iraq and the push-pull fighting, infighting, etc., which was to be expected for the prime minister spot, and who is very much now in the leading position. The number one horse in the starting gates, al-Sudani. The guarantor and disruptor third is in the grip of the Kurds and the Sunnis. What awaits the greater bloc? So the greater bloc, the Shiites, won the majority, but over a third now belongs to the Kurds and the Sunnis, which means they have veto power. They can't tell you who will be the prime minister, but they can tell you who won't be the prime minister. So it will be up to the largest bloc to convince the bloc, meaning the Sunnis and the Kurds, that their candidate deserves it. They're finally big enough to block that movement. And of course, you have about half of the Shiite bloc that supports Sudani, and you have the overwhelming majority of the Kurds and the Sunnis that do. He is in that leading position right now. That field has been shrunk. It is down to four folks. Sudani, overwhelming lead right now in the race or the push. Not really like ballots. This is like support. With was it Kamdini? I'm trying to remember, former Prime Minister Maliki. Those are the most distant of the four. And the number two right now, I am being told, is the former, I want to say it's like intelligence or something. Let me see if it's in this article. Either of the top two, from what I am told, would make the U.S. happy. See if they've got it in here. Let's see. Constitutional block. It might be over here. No, the four names. There it is. Four names that top the race for the presidency of the Iraqi government. Of course, Sudani in the lead right now. Maliki. That's the one I'm looking for. The director of the National Intelligence Service, Hamid al-Shatri. I'm told he is right now ranking in the number 2 spot. And then Kadimi and Maliki in the 3 and 4 spot. They can fight over which one is which. That is what I am being told presently. The Maliki was doing better in it up until the weekend and took a nosedive. I think he overplayed his political hand. And why am I bringing that one up? I do not think that the RV takes off immediately if Soudani gets it. I don't think they're necessarily tied, but I do think that the wrong outcome because of Iranian influence could possibly drag things a little. So for me, I'm encouraged by how it is turning out. Al Marsumi warns the dollar may jump to 200,000 Iraqi dinar soon. A lot of back and forth. This is all over the news, saying that they may try to push it lower to make it easier to pay bills. In other words, cost the Iraqi people deflate, which are the same type stories we saw right before Kuwait revalued. So I'm not worried about these stories at all. It's back and forth. The takeaway is that a number of both parliamentary members, economists in the area saying, well, if the government tries to that, it'll be time for the CBI to pull a float. So I just thought it was interesting, the back and forth, because this is a very similar conversation we had in Kuwait. Then they put it in their basket, went to a float, revalued. That's why I'm excited about when I read these, because it's a playbook. It's a page straight out of Kuwait. Sudan, Zimbabwe, and Burundi have been listed among the current countries losing the most purchasing power in 2025 as high inflation drives up prices, reduces the value of money. Don't panic when I said this one, but I did want to use it as an example. So they're among the Sudan, Zimbabwe, and Burundi are among the African nations facing the most significant declines. Zimbabwe, let's see, could shrink to 77 from 100. So that's like 30-some% inflation. Venezuela is projected to have 549% inflation this year. If you had a $100 bill, now 1 year it'd be worth about $15. Now, I find this one because Zimbabwe's used to be extremely higher. They are in the middle of between two in a conversion between, I believe it's called a ZLW and a ZIG. One currency, exceptionally stable to gold back. They didn't have enough gold in their treasury to go 100% gold backed right out of the gate. So when I'm watching this one, I'm learning a lot about what's going on. And it's being forced. When you see these levels of inflation, it is forcing and pushing us towards an asset-backed system where you don't have inflation. And then when I get to see the hybrid model that's going on in Zimbabwe now, it very much proves that. Let me turn that off. Let me come back here. Linda, very smart. Planning Thanksgiving, get ready for Christmas, not focusing on RV or politics. Time to embrace life and live in the moment. Definitely, and the holidays should be a good reminder. Thanksgiving should be a great reminder to be thankful. Even as bad as it seems, we have it well, historically speaking. I know nobody likes to hear that, but it's true. Wait, was Soudani on it? Did it come out? I know he was planned to be on it. I haven't seen the actual cover, though, Lucky. Only saw the predicted covers. Dana, happy pre-birthday on the 79th. I appreciate that one. Watching a few of these, I'm going to dive right back in. Iraq's latest purchase raises its total gold holdings 170 tons. Let's think about this. Arguably the cleanest balance sheet in the world for a nation is Iraq. When you look at its foreign currency reserves, it has more than enough wealth and money to buy every single dinar printed and have money left over. Now, I want you to think about that one. Do you think the U.S. could purchase every single U.S. dollar in circulation? Many estimates believe it is up to 250 trillion actually in circulation. I know people are like, wait a minute, that's unfounded, this, whatever. Combination of what was printed for years, plates that were given away, digital that has been printed willy-nilly. I mean, we just wipe off 2 trillion here, 2 trillion there. Pentagon's lost, 4 or 5 trillion already. We're not even going to try to explain where it's at. The massive, massive overprinting. Switzerland doesn't have the backing that Iraq has. Every single piece, and they continue to increase their gold. Guys, they can revalue and they can defend their price. They can, their price now, when they're saying, oh, they're going to depreciate, I mean, they're going to devalue it. I want you to think about that. What are they going to do? Give away all their money in their monetary fund? They're going to give away all their foreign currency reserves or their backing for their currency. When I see people saying, no, it needs to go down, I'm like, do you not understand the fundamentals? They're backing it with a basket of currencies, and they're backing it with gold, tons and tons of gold. Does it make any logical sense when they have an asset up here that is worth more than their currency for their currency to continue to go down? No, it makes more sense for it to come up to the value of what they have backing it. When I'm reading these, I'm just like, and that is a big one, Jay. That's a big one for those that are paying attention. Fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. Speaking of broken fundamentals, China's manufacturing exodus accelerating amid deteriorating economy, says insiders. Global buyers demand diversification. Chinese firms are moving production to Vietnam, Indonesia, and Central Asia. I know a lot of suppliers that I help consult folks with, businesses, etc. They're former manufacturers that were based in China. They picked up, moved factories. They're now based in Vietnam. They're based in other countries. So when I see this one, which means goods are adjusting, prices are coming down, countries that have more favorable tariffs are taking it. It is devastating China right now, though. China's economy continues to deteriorate, and U.S.-China trade tensions deepen, manufacturers are accelerating an exodus. Labor-intensive mid to low-tech manufacturing chains are moving to Southeast Asia. It was already bad enough. They already had spending, very high debt ratios per capita, lower overall debt than the U.S., but massively more people. So you got to look at it, the per capita and the income. It's ugly to be in China right now. That's your short of it. If Asia drops, Europe drops, the U.S. drops, meaning our banking system. That is the collapse that would force us to go if they don't do the right thing. Fundamentals are going to win at the end of this, no matter what. Let's see. Yes, Sudani is on the cover of Newsweek with the heading Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani is putting Iraq back in the spotlight. Yeah, I saw the initial cover, but I hadn't seen it since they printed it. So they probably ran with the exact same one. Pretty cool in my book. What I think the speech Trump's giving on Thanksgiving is probably atypical presidential address on Thanksgiving. Hey, be thankful. These are all the great things we've done. This is what we still have to do. Go enjoy your time. Presidents have been doing it since, well, beginning of, before, but we've known about it really since the beginning of radio and television. I'm not looking for anything fun or special in his speech. Michael. All right, Michael, you're going to have to tell us, are you just trolling? Or are you actually asking that question? Just because we've covered it thousands of times and it's become a joke in the community whenever somebody asks. So not trying to detract from you or belittle or any of those things at all. I'm just like, are you seriously asking? Because they've addressed that one so many times to ad nauseum. Chabibi addressed it back in the early 2000s, again about 2010, 2012. Sudani's addressed it. Al-Alaq from the CBI's addressed it. I can give you a short one if you've just somehow missed it and you've only been in this thing for a few months. Isn't that tough? Because you never know if they're being serious and are just new to the movement or if they're just trolling. It is gotten tough, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Did he pardon any turkeys this year? Why would you pardon a turkey? That has got to be one of the dumbest traditions I've ever seen. I didn't want to make the guy feel bad if he seriously wanted to know. Didn't mean to make him feel bad. We talked about China, and I'll probably touch on it again very quickly just in case it was a serious question. It really has, Mama Bear. The zero dropping questions become the old do we need a trust question. Where were we at? All right. Let's get back to Trump. Get rid of that one. Guys, if he does ask, and that was a serious question, let me know. Either way, I will give it a short gloss over after we do the news before the mushroom ladies jump in. Wow. So either we are getting inundated with them, or there are a bunch of people that have basically the same question. Well, they lower the IQD in circulation. They already have. They've cut it by over half, if that's what you mean, the amount in circulation. If you're talking about how it's printed, we'll touch on that one with the removal of the zeros after we finish the news. I'll give them a short one. Or should I do? Let's do the short one now. Let's get it over with. All right. The guy who designed the revaluation, Al Shabibi, he has talked about this one at length. It's in their white reforms paper as well. It's in their monetary vision that was written like 6, 7, 8 years ago. Soudani's talked about it. Al-Alaq's talked about it. Pretty much anybody in the level of no has talked about it in Iraq, in government documents, press, and statements. They said that they would lift the purchasing power. They would do what it would take to defend, stabilize, and then increase the purchasing power to lift the purchasing power of all Iraqis, meaning raise the value of their currency, and then they would distribute lower denomination notes. Because let's say if you've got a 25K note and it's worth $1, can you imagine going down to the local 7-Eleven with a $25,000, like not a 20, not 100, it's worth $25,000 and expect change? It doesn't work. So what they do is they make lower denominations available because the value is up so much. And then you just go exchange it. In other words, you turn your 25K note into figured out 100 dinar note. So it would be so many more of them, be like 250 of them or something, guys. I'm not doing the math very well right now, but you would not need a bigger note. So you would go deposit it in the bank, go put it in, exchange it. You would have it in the bank. And then when you pulled out money, it would be the new lower denomination notes, meaning you would be worth a lot more money. I hope that makes sense. It is really, really, really easy to understand. People just have a tendency to make it more difficult than it is. Really easy to understand. It is quite literally that simple. Yeah, Nana K, some people are new. Not everyone can join every day. I get it. But we've covered it 1,000 times. So for them to have missed it means they probably haven't watched a whole episode ever in their life. See, 2K9, I think too many people think cutting the zeros means a 25 dinar note becomes $25. And that's just, 2K9, they have told us over and over and over and over in government documents and you name it, that that's not how it works. But some people out there keep spinning it. Trump says he will designate Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign terrorist organization. Like, how many more times do we have to share the links to all the documentation saying that that's not how they're going to do it? We've probably done it 100 times. All right. Back to it. Hello, Miss Pinlight. It's good to see you. Trump says he will designate Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign terrorist organization. He went on a bender this weekend. I don't mean drinking because the man doesn't drink. It will be done in the strongest and most powerful terms, the president said in an interview with Just the News on Sunday morning. President Donald Trump said on November 23rd that he is planning to designate the Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign terrorist organization, a move that he has considered since his first term. What do you guys think? He is also ending the temporary status of Somalis in Minnesota. Don't know if that means he's going to do it around, but they have had so many problems with that community, fraud, government abuse, crime, etc., that he's like, we don't have to take you. You're the one that wants to come here. Can you behave and operate in our society like a productive member of society, or do we send you home? And he's saying, we're going to send you home. If you can't be a contributing member of society, you got to go. If you're going to be a problem, you got to go. Find this one more than a little. Look, if somebody is coming here, they want to integrate, they want to work hard, they want to truly embrace it and the Constitution. I am very supportive. I am very pro immigration, very, but I am pro legal immigration. I'm finding this one interesting, and it really does look like he is going after Omar and many in order to clean up states, whether they want it or not. Although you'll find majority of the state wants to be cleaned up. They want more money. They want bills paid. And on that front, the U.S. is not much better than this. Almost every German city is now on the verge of bankruptcy. In just one German state, the North Rhine-Westphalia, only 10 out of 396 cities and municipalities can present a balanced budget. The rest of them are millions and billions of dollars behind. This is the fundamentals, guys. This is the same fundamentals you're going to see in the UK, you're going to see in France, you're going to see in the US, westernized worlds. We've been overspending for decades and decades and decades and decades. Heck, we're getting down to like the whole millennia at this point in overspending, and fundamentals are coming home to roost. That's why I keep saying we're going to have a reset. Good one, an ugly one, depends on how you're positioned for it. The fundamentals are coming home to roost. You can only mess with them for so long. At one that should have all of D.C. in a tither, should have all of the United States in a tither. Jim Jordan, chief GOP investigator, spied on by FBI and Arctic frost probe. So while he was trying to figure out why the probes were abusive and going after people and violating constitutional rights and all norms of our judicial system, come to find out, they were spying on him the entire time. Yeah, not just his mobile phone. Web searches, home IP, work computers, work phones. They were tracking under the Biden administration everything electronically this man did. And they insisted that his cell phone provider could not inform him, even though legally they're supposed to inform him, because he was a flight risk, in their opinion. Jim Jordan, sitting member, chief GOP investigator, is somehow going to run if he finds out you're tapping his phone and go hide in some non-extradition country, is what the Biden administration pitched. Obviously, to a judge dumb enough to believe it, because come on, he had to be stupid, or he had to be so corrupt he didn't care, or she. I don't know. Watergate can't touch the abuses that occurred under the Biden administration and Arctic frost. We're not even going to go back to the Obama administration. We're not going to go into the spying and the Trump and all that. I mean, they violated. There should be hundreds of them locked in jail for that one. And if they were Republicans, they would be. But this one, wow. They just got like the Olympic gold medal for centuries on government overreach and abuse. And it's right out in front of your eyes. But will they pay? That is the question. This is what fascism looks like. The last administration is exactly what fascism looked like. Debank you, cut you off, deny you medical care. What? Oh, censor your speech, censor you on Twitter before Musk took over, censor you on YouTube, censor you on Facebook, censor you on everything. And the government actively took a role in that censorship. That is absolutely what you call authoritarian control. That's Nazi-like. That's Mao-like. That's CCP China-like. That's not a free country. Truist, all roads lead to Obama. I think all roads lead to the CIA. Obama just one of the latest puppets for them. That's my opinion. Yeah, why aren't they locked up in jail? Whatever happened to FAFO? I'm with you on all those. The auto pin politics. JH, anybody? Buddy. I need somebody to email me that link. Somebody was supposed to email me that link if you wanted me to share it. Don't text it to me. Don't WhatsApp it to me. Email it to me, and I would love to share it. They have the Survivors Reunion for ATB going on today. Jennifer came on. We talked about it last Tuesday, but I do not have the link handy. I would love to share it. It is going to start very soon after this morning's podcast. Bondi's supposed to be the Attorney General. She does not do whatever Trump says. Boy, somebody's confused on that one. No, if anything, I consider a bit on the rogue side. And I consider Trump to be a little overreaching sometimes. I know I'm going to get in trouble for that one. It almost always makes it make sense later. So they're going to do it at they're going to do it over at Trafficking Insides. Thank you, Booger. Originally it was going to be on some canvas, some other spot. So I'm glad they're going to multicast it. No fresh fun stuff, Ray, on the VND. Yeah, I'm definitely losing faith in Bondi. No, I don't think banks are getting an extension on ISO. I consider this week to be very crucial. And I think we should learn a lot in the coming days as it takes effect and we see any backlash from it, or any reaction to it, I should say, not backlash. Lucky number 7 sent it. Well, said they sent it. Yeah, nothing's popped up. Yep, nope. Lydia, we don't know how much it's going to be. We know how many folks keep guessing. Most think it is going to be worth around $4 per IQD. So if that turns out to be factual, then 25K note IQD would be worth 100,000 US bucks. Julian Edelman of New York Patriots said yesterday, "What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?" Green bean casserole. And he broke it down. Oh no, nasty. That's nasty. Yeah, I don't trust Bondi. Let's see. Kevin said Frank said that Maliki's telling the citizens there will be no economic reform in Iraq. Well, why in the heck would they support him? They voted for Soudani to get economic reform. Yeah, for those that don't know, you can save yourself a lot of headache. You can go to the original MarkZ.com, where you can find all of our podcasts when we do them. You can look. When you click on them, you will find links, what we discussed, links to the articles out of Iraq, the articles from IMF, World Bank, UN, etc. You will find the links. For all those are out there going, you have no proof. I'm like, we give you all of that every day. We do them so that you can go in and do your own research. Highly suggest you do. But also, there's a back to basics button that will take you to one, and it is the very of of the Iraq of the revaluation. That would be a great place to start. If you know nothing, that would be where you start. Yeah, I have no idea why Maliki's still walking around. That man should be in jail in my book. What he has done to the Iraqi people. But how many U.S. politicians do I say the same thing and they're out running around doing book tours? Marvin, they said the only way you could cash in is you have to eat a plate of green bean casserole. I don't have to keep it down, do I? I'm reading some of these comments. I'm going to sing happy birthday, turn it over to the mushroom ladies, and keep answering questions in chat for a little bit. I don't want to detract from them, but I am excited. They've helped so many folks, especially in this day and time of turbo cancer. It's kind of nice to know there's some natural things to help with your treatment in life and just overall health. So that's what we'll be moving on to after this one. Oh, I still like Bongino. I'm surprised he's lasted this long and hadn't left in disgust, but I still like Dan Bongino. He's just not in a position where he has that much power. He's a deputy director. I think things will go better if he were the director instead of Kash Patel. Reading a few of the, I know I need to sing happy birthday and get to it. What is up, Grip Grip? So who do we have on the birthday front? Ooh, I did have one good from Dave. Let me take a minute, read this, then I'm going to sing. Anybody that is celebrating today, sound off for this week. If you're not going to be here, I do want to read this one. Very much consider the Gipper from Gipper News to be just a bit of a mentor for me. But he did a piece for somebody else as the American infiltration, devolution, and the moment of truth. And I thought it'd be worth touching on real quickly just some of those high points. The American infiltration, devolution, moment of truth. America was infiltrated after the War of 1812, captured economically in 1913, deceived through a century of centralized power, broken by financial corruption in 2008, awakened in the decade after 2016, leading to a moment where we either reclaimed sovereignty or perished as a nation. And by God's providence, the last 10 years set the stage for the reconstitution of the sovereign of the American Republic. 1. The infiltration, 1812 to 1913. After the War of 1812 left America financially wounded, non-sovereign banking interests slipped into the heart of Washington under the guise of stability. This began the long arc of infiltration. Foreign creditors influenced domestic policy. NGOs formed around globalist agendas, non-American sovereignty. D.C. became a corporate city-state, not a state of the union. Private central banking power emerged, culminating in the 1913 Federal Reserve Act. From this point forward, America possessed the appearance of sovereignty, but the lifeblood of sovereignty, money, was controlled by the actors outside the Constitution. This was the seed of hidden bondage. 2. The degradation and deception from 1913 to 2008. Over the next century, the system metastasized. War financed by private debt, inflation as a perpetual tax on the working class, fractional reserve lending created cycles of boom, bust, and dependency. Intelligence agencies entangled with foreign interests, NGOs shaping policy without consent, media consolidation controlling the national narrative. America grew powerful abroad, but hollowed at home. The facade of freedom remained, but beneath it, the nation's operating system was no longer governed by we the people. The lights were still on, but the foundation had shifted. 3. The depression of trust, 2008 to 2016. Financial crisis of 2008 was the first major crack to the public that the public could no longer ignore. Millions realized the system was rigged. Criminals on Wall Street were protected. The cost of their crimes was transferred to the public. Trust in the Fed, Congress, the media, and the intelligence community cratered. The American people began to awaken to the fact that they were citizens in name, but economic subjects in practice. 4. The 10-year inflection point, 2016 to 2025. These 10 years will be studied for centuries. In this decade, a president arrived who did not owe allegiance to the cartel, not owned by NGOs, not funded by global banks, not afraid to expose the rot. This disrupted the entire architecture of hidden control. Executive orders were signed targeting transnational cartels, not just drug gangs. Financial cartels, political cartels, intelligence cartels, foreign-aligned influence channels were severed. NATO leverage changed. Five Eyes intelligence alliances re-examined. Trade structures reset. Military intelligence asserted constitutional authority where civilian agencies failed. The judiciary fractures were exposed. Corruption, politicized, prosecutors, two-tier justice, tech censorship shattered public faith in corporate-controlled information. The Federal Reserve System reached terminal velocity, unsustainable debt, opaque operations, public distrust, digital currency infrastructure matured, XRP, ISO 20022, RWA tokenization stablecoins, providing the first viable alternatives to the cartel-controlled money in 110 years. The UCMJ and JAG systems were reinforced with unprecedented leadership appointments, operational readiness, and legal restructuring. This decade was the great exposure, the moment Americans finally saw the prison walls around them, and seeing it for the first time, seeing it is the first step to breaking free. 5, the dire moment of truth, 2025. By 2025, America stood at the fork in the road, either reclaim sovereignty or we die. Thought that one was just spot on for my buddy, a.k.a. Gipper. He worked closely in the Reagan administration. It's a privilege to have known him in real life. Thought that was just great. Some of my greatest ones come from him. He's just so thoughtful. All right, now let's sing happy birthday. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. To all those celebrating. 63rd, happy birthday, Larry Renwife. I'm excited too. So many more are awake now that were never, ever, ever awake. You can't put it back in the box. Pandora, yeah. All right. You get the idea. See, Mel K on Charlie's channel did a phenomenal job explaining development of the current deep state blow by blow over the last few. Hey, had Mel K. Okay, cool. All right, let's do this thing. Let's bring in the ladies on this fine Monday before Thanksgiving.
Hey, Mark, I'm thinking about last Thanksgiving. I was getting ready to leave for a friend's house, and I had a huge tray of green bean casserole, and
you broke it or dropped it, right?
Yes, yeah, and it slipped out, and it went onto the floor, and my husband, without missing a beat, said, "That's exactly where Mark would want it." Without missing a beat.
He is so right.
It was like, oh, you're kidding. And it was pretty funny, but he didn't miss a beat. That's exactly where Mark would want it. Oh, thank you. We so appreciate this platform. I can't believe it's like we're starting our 3rd year with you and this community. Oh my gosh. A couple things I want to just mention. Kukla, I know you're in the room, and thank you for all you do. We'd like to donate to the Helping Hands. We'd like to donate some pet food because they need Thanksgiving dinner too. So I'll be texting you or emailing you a little bit later on about how we can do that. And a public service announcement. All of you know Mike Barra. He's going through some real scary stuff with his little dog, Barkley. Barkley has been diagnosed with some pretty bad stuff. He's going blind, and Mike is just, he could really use some good words. We are getting our a holistic vet, Dr. Sally, who helped Zester with his kitty. We are getting her involved and hoping we can see what we can do to make Barkley's life a little better right now. And then as I was reading chat, Brendaw 7978, reach out to me because I want to chat with you about what you're doing for your condition. And same with a joyful voice. Your cousin, reach out to me at the original MarkZ Pet so that we can chat a little bit. We're going to go kind of quick today. Thanksgiving stuff at the end, so stick around. I'm Diana. I'm certified in holistic pet care. I'm certified in CBD for pets and animals. This is Kristen. She's certified in mycology, and we're both certified in pet nutrition. And today we're here to educate. We're here to talk a little bit about our fur babies and what we can do to keep them around longer. The last show that we were on, we touched briefly on this new mRNA vaccine that is out there, and there was a lot of back and forth on it. What we know about this mRNA vaccine is it is called Novavax, and it is an all-in-one dog flu, cat flu, rabies, this, that, mRNA vaccine. It was rushed through in 14 days. There were 38 animals in the test. They euthanized 35 of them within 14 days of the test. Their reasoning was to see if there was any internal damage because of the vaccine. We'll see. But I can tell you that I did spend quite a bit of time with a very well-known holistic vet this weekend, whose first response to me was, just tell your vet you're not ready for that yet. You know, we don't know enough about it. Could it be good? Yeah. Could it be bad? Yeah. We don't know, but it's called Novavax. It's an mRNA all-in-one vaccine. They're saying it's safe for animals over the age of 8 weeks. If you got new puppies and you want to get them vaccinated, you know, just be cautious on that one. So what are we doing and why are we doing this? We're on a mission. We're on a mission because in 1970, our golden retrievers lived until they were 16 or 17. Now they're barely making it to 9 and 10. Big pharma medications, corrupt corporations making pet food full of fillers and bad things, phenobarbital, formaldehyde, cardboard, byproducts, which are unclean meat sources. We've got 6 million new cases of diabetes in dogs. I mean, gosh, you know, I'm 67 years old. We didn't have a dog with diabetes or cancer. Cancer is on the rise. By the age of 10, 25% of the dogs will have gotten cancer. At the age of 10, it turns to 50%. Nationwide, 50% of all of our animals are dying from cancer. I mean, come on, kidney, heart failure, all of these things are on the rise, and it's just breaking our heart. It's something that for us caused us to get on a mission. We're disrupting the pet industry. We know that the pet industry has pretty much been taken over by big pharma. Our veterinarians are making 34% of their money on pharmaceuticals. There's $35 billion in veterinarian care bills. It's crazy. Last month, we covered a little bit about nutrition. We covered a little bit about minerals. And so today we want to switch gears a little bit, and we want to talk about our flagship mushroom. Kristen's going to give you a little history of how this happened for us, how this company got involved in this decades ago, and a little bit about, you know, why we believe what we're doing and how we're doing our mushroom for the animals is so important. And we do it for animals and humans. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this over to Kristen, and she's going to do a little deep dive on how long the company's been working with mushrooms and a little bit about mushrooms. And then I'm going to come back and talk a little bit about Thanksgiving, and we're going to go from there. So Kristen, take it away.
Thank you, Diana. And, you know, like Diana said, this is not something that's new for us. This is something that we've been involved with for decades now. Back in 1999, actually, one of our partners, his mother had a stage 4 condition in her lung, and she was being seen by Sloan Kettering. And they, of course, had tried surgeries and all of their different types of treatments, and nothing worked. And so they pretty much told her that she only had a few weeks left and that she should get her affairs in order and say her goodbyes. And so our partner Simon started reaching out to family members all over the world, letting them know what she was dealing with. And his cousin, who's a physician in Japan, actually reached out to him and said, hey, you know, I don't know what you guys have tried there, but I want to send you this mushroom capsule that has this mushroom called the Coriolus versicolor mushroom in it. It's just a very pure and potent extract of this mushroom. And I want her to start taking it and let's see what her own immune system is able to do. And so he sent these capsules over, and she started taking them. And within a month, she started feeling a little bit better. And within 2 months, she started feeling pretty much back to normal. And 4.5 months later, she ended up going back to Sloan Kettering, who was surprised to see her because they didn't expect her to even be there that long. And she told them, I feel fine. And so they ran tests, and sure enough, they couldn't find any more evidence of it. And her body had rebalanced on its own. And it's so incredible that this little whole food, this little mushroom extract actually fed her own immune system. And so they asked for some of this extract so they could start testing it because they were blown away by her experience with it. And that's actually where the very first study started in the United States, was with Sloan Kettering on this mycelial mushroom extract. And since then, now there are over 400 published studies by the top institutes in the world, like MD Anderson Cancer Center, Harvard University, American Cancer Society. I could go on and on and on and on, like all the most reputable organizations in the world. And so after having that experience, whenever their friends would be dealing with something, they would say, hey, regardless of what it was, you should try this mushroom, and they would share Simon's mother's story. And they started getting back all these reports from all different types of things, because we all know that the immune system is the body's first response against small things all the way up to the most catastrophic or serious things. And so they said, hey, it's taking quite a while for it to come from Japan. So they actually worked with his cousin, brought it over from Japan, and now they process and do everything here in the United States. And so that's what they were doing for goodness, over 15 years. But in 2018, Steve, one of our partners, lost his dog to cancer. Gino, one of our other partners, lost his dog to cancer, and 2 of Steve's daughters lost their dogs to cancer, all within just a couple months of each other. And so they're kind of looking at each other going, wait a minute, they're feeling bad about it. And they started looking into what was causing it and saying, wait a minute, what are the odds of this happening to all of these animals at the same time at different ages, ranging from 4 years old all the way up to 11 years old? So what was going on? And that's when they found what Diana shared with you, that most of it was caused by the foods, treats, and toys that our pets are chewing and ingesting. 65% of our pets are getting cancers. They're living half as long as they used to. So they said, we know what this mushroom can do for the immune system of people. I wonder if it would help for animals. And they found a study by the University of Pennsylvania that not only is it helpful for animals, but it was actually beneficial for them. It's safe for them and beneficial for them. There was a study done on dogs with hemangiosarcoma, and the results were fascinating. So they said, we have to start giving this to our pets. And that's how Pet Club 24/7 was started. And since then, we've received over 90% of the time, dog after dog, horse after horse, cat after cat. We're getting back all these positive stories. You've heard Diana and I share so many testimonials. You've seen people just share what's been happening in the chat. In the chat, they're sharing their stories of what's happened for their pets or for themselves. And so we're so excited about what these mushrooms are doing for both pets and people. And the reason why a lot of these institutions and organizations have been researching and studying this mushroom, but a lot of people still haven't heard about it. And that's because a lot of them are looking for ways that they can synthesize it so they can patent it, because you can't patent a mushroom, but it can't be synthesized. It is 100% natural. So it's very pure. It's very potent. It's what nature intended. It's the ally that nature created for us, is the best way to put it. So we want to get this immune support into every animal, every pet, every person, every day. We have multiple ways. For dogs, we have Mush Puppies Plus. For dogs and cats, we have the special sauce. We have Mush Ponies for our equine friends, or for dogs that are practically the size of horses. You can give them the Mush Ponies. And we even have human capsules with the Enforce and the Enforce Plus. And we have some complimentary mushrooms as well, along with gummies and cookies and coffees that have the Coriolis versicolor mushroom. So we have a lot of ways to get it into the system. And we just encourage people, like, this should be a daily food. It's a whole food. It doesn't interact with any medications. It doesn't, or treatments. You can't get addicted. You can't overdose. There aren't any side effects. I see someone asking if it will help with yeast infections. Well, your body, your immune system knows the proper balance of your body. So any infections, viruses, imbalances in yeast or bacteria in the gut, whatever it might be, the immune system knows how to stabilize that and how to rebalance that. So we hear all the time, people start taking the Coriolis versicolor mushroom and these infections clear up, these viruses clear up, all of these things. You can hear kind of in my voice, we're having crazy swings of weather here in Las Vegas. And so my allergies have kicked in. All I do is I just take a couple extra mushroom capsules, and my own immune system helps with the allergies. I haven't taken an allergy pill in, goodness, I don't even know, 8 years now. I used to take one almost every single day. And now it's been 8 years I haven't taken one. So any infections, anything that the body is going through, we want to be feeding the immune system the food that it needs to be able to function optimally. And I saw someone else say in the chat that it prioritizes what's happening in the body, and it goes to the most detrimental places first. So it'll address what's most urgent first, and then it'll work through the body, repairing, rebalancing, regulating everything else as it goes. So I wanted to share some fun mushroom facts with you that just blow me away. And a lot of times people will ask, well, they don't understand, are mushrooms fruits or vegetables? Because we find them in the produce section at the grocery store, right? So they must be plants. They must be a fruit or a vegetable, but they're not. They're actually in their own kingdom, the kingdom fungi. And so that makes them separate from plants. But most people don't realize that they're actually closer to animals and people than they are plants, because they breathe oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. They depend on external organic matter for food. So they eat and process food just like people and animals do. They break down nutrients using enzymes. They have complex immune defense systems. Mushrooms have their own immune system, and they're even closer to people than they are animals. They share up to 40 to 50% of the same DNA. So what that means is that the shared biology that they have is that the mushroom compounds are way more biocompatible. So our bodies recognize and utilize them more efficiently than a lot of other plant compounds. That's why they work so well. The beta glucans and the polysaccharides in the mushrooms interact directly with our immune cells, helping to balance it, not overstimulate it, but educate it. We have shared defense mechanisms because we kind of evolved side by side and fought a lot of the same environmental threats like bacteria and viruses and toxins. And that's why most of the medicinal mushrooms naturally produce antiviral, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory compounds. And it's more than nutrition, because these mushrooms act as an adaptogen. So they don't just feed us, they teach our bodies how to adapt. And this is why it's so much more powerful than just plant-based. Because while plants have great phytonutrients, mushrooms go beyond that because they interact with our cells on a molecular communication level. So we share the same biological blueprints. That's why they work so well. And I promise you, if you're taking mushrooms, you want to go with a very pure and potent strain that's regularly tested for purity like ours. We do 3 purity tests on every single batch of biomass we have. You want to make sure they're extracting it in the right way and maximizing those bioactive compounds. And you want to make sure that they have a track record, right? We've been around for decades. This is not something new that we just decided to do because everyone's learning about the benefits of mushroom. This is something that we've been experiencing now for so long. I see someone asking if the mushroom will help with menopause. Look up research on, you can actually just type it into your internet. Look at the Coriolis versicolor mushroom, the reishi mushroom, the maitake, lion's mane, and shiitake mushroom. I myself am going through perimenopause right now. I've been taking those mushrooms and I feel amazing. It's like a night and day difference. So look up how those 5 different mushrooms impact menopause or perimenopause, and specifically what each one does to impact it. It's incredible when you find that out. Now, here are a couple other fun facts. Mushrooms are harvested all year around. They grow in every season all over the world. They don't require a large amount of land. 1 acre can grow 1 million pounds of mushrooms. And you know how light mushrooms are. So that's a lot of mushrooms. They grow 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And they double in size every day. They're fat-free, low in calories, cholesterol-free, gluten-free, low in sodium. And they have a unique growing process, unlike any other produce item, and are considered one of the most sustainably produced foods in the United States. And unlike green plants, mushrooms don't need light to grow. A lot of the mushrooms that are being sold today are actually grown and manufactured in labs within synthetic lighting. And while it's better to take some mushrooms than no mushrooms, we actually grow ours out in nature using sunlight. So the mushrooms are communicating with the trees. They are getting the natural vitamin D directly from the sun because they stored vitamin D. And they even have the unique ability to increase vitamin D amounts, just like humans do. We can convert cholesterol into vitamin D. Mushrooms have the ability to store and increase those amounts of vitamin D in them. So that's really important. That's also why our mushrooms.
On that front, which is really cool, you can take a dried mushroom that's been dried for 6 months, put it out in the sun, it absorbs vitamin D and converts it. It is one of the most freakish, biological, really cool. It's like God made magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
They truly are. Like God, it is God's ally for creation. And that's why I believe they grow all over the world. It's not meant for one area. You know, a lot of these superfoods are grown in one specific area, but they have biocompounds that help people or animals in that area. Well, the mushrooms grow all over the world. It's meant for all creation. It's fascinating. And they go through 5 stages of growth. So they do the spore release, the inoculation and germination, the mycelial growth, which is when we extract the Coriolis versicolor mushroom, because that's when it has the highest amount of the polysaccharides PSP and PSK, which are what modulate the immune system. Again, why we're having the experiences that we're having. Most of the manufacturers actually extract it when it's fully fruited, which is good because it has beta glucans in it, but it doesn't have the PSP and the PSK in the amounts that it does in the mycelial stage. So it's a more expensive, a more tedious extraction process, but it is so much more biocompatible and it is so much more efficable when you do it that way. And then it moves into its primordia formation and then the fruiting, the fully fruited body. So again, it's imperative if you are taking Coriolis versicolor, some people call it by its street name, turkey tail, which is when it's fully fruited, but we call it Coriolis versicolor because that's the scientific name. And that's also what it's called when it's mycelial, in its mycelial phase. Make sure that you're getting it, that type of extraction, because the fully fruited body has lost a lot of that potency. And there are other spermidine and other bioactive compounds. Oh, look them up. Look up spermidine and what that does for the body and how it helps with autophagy. The Coriolis versicolor mushroom is the most magical mushroom that exists. Every pet, every person, every day should be getting this mushroom into their system. So if you have any questions on anything that I went over, please, you can always reach out to Diana at the original MarkZpets@gmail.com, and we can answer any questions about the mushrooms or any of the products for you. But I'm going to turn it back over to Diana. Since Thanksgiving's coming up, there's some really important things that we should be prepared for with our pets.
Wow, lots of good information. You know, go back and watch this again because the amount of information you packed into that 8 minutes was huge. I'm going to answer a couple quick questions. Someone asked about yeast infection. If it smells like Fritos on their feet, that's a whole nother story. Email me. I'll give you a little recipe of what you can use. Yes, this can actually help the body with allergies and yeast infections for an animal. You know, the immune system, literally give the immune system the support that it needs. Everything else falls into place. Preacher Builder, your wife and Olivia, what a great story. Thank you for that. Charlotte Wood, you were about the yeast infection. Fluffy Pup, why don't doctors use this? Well, Big Pharma can't synthesize it, as Kristen said, and they can't patent it. So what's in it for them? That's kind of your answer.
And if I can just, I'm so sorry, if I could just add to that also, they're licensed in medicine. And so that's why a lot of doctors, they cannot give nutritional advice because they're not licensed in nutrition. They're licensed in medicine, and they're only allowed to promote what they know and what they've studied. And they haven't studied foods as a response or as a way to get that extra support for their body. So it's not always malicious. It's just they're restricted by their own licensing.
You know, when I was dealing with cancer, my oncologist, who has just been brilliant to work with, said to me, do not ask your doctor for permission to take something he can't give you permission to take. And he said to me, when you go to your doctor and say, look, I am taking the Coriolis versicolor mushroom. Here's where you can see the studies. Let me know if you have a problem with it. You've just shown him the respect of telling him what you're doing, but also let him off the hook because he can't say yes. I could say, hey, can I eat a bologna sandwich? He can't say yes. It's not in his purview. Turkey Parts Wizard, 10 a day. I'm happy to hear that you're doing well. depending on how much you weigh. I took 10 a day. I weigh 150, and I took 10 a day when I was going through what I was going through that was catastrophic. And I went into remission in 30 days. I did that for 1 year through my chemotherapy, through everything. And then I weaned myself back down to 3 a day, which I take every day. Nana Bud, your double vaccinated doodle. Yeah, let's get this baby on some mush ponies, probably because he's pretty big, but email me and we'll talk about it. And then Ready Jesus, peanut butter with, okay, this is a Kristen question. Dog has pancreatitis and kidney problems, and she's concerned about the peanuts in the super sauce. I'm not so concerned, but Kristen, what are your thoughts?
I'm sorry, the peanuts in the special sauce?
Special sauce.
There's no peanuts in the special sauce.
That was what I was thinking too, but she said there was. So, okay, good.
So she might be thinking of the mush puppies, because we use peanuts to flavor those, because those dogs love the flavor of that.
Yeah.
Special sauce will be okay. You don't have to worry about that. There are no nothing that they could be allergic to really in it.
Perfect. Okay, Thanksgiving, guys. Thanksgiving is coming up. I've been listening to all these amazing recipes and all these things people are sharing, and it is a day for lots of celebration, lots of food. But I am going to say something. It is a tough day on our animals. There is still time to order chill doggies, but you'd have to have them expedited. You'd have to pay for next day shipping, but it would be worth it, and take it around to your neighborhood. This is going to bring your doggie down a notch. Like I like to say, it just chills the doggie. But let's talk a little bit. Kukla, bless her heart, is going to put this up on the Telegram room. But if not, if you have a chance that you could actually like screenshot this or send me an email and I'll send you a copy of it, and put it up in your lunchroom. Share it with everyone you know. This is the do not eat at Thanksgiving list. You know, you don't realize, we just lost a dog here in Boulder City, a 4-year-old Weimaraner, because he got in the trash. Number one rule, secure the trash. He got in the trash, grabbed a corn cob, and usually it gets stuck in their esophagus, and then they have to go in and pull it out, and that's quite intensive. This one went through and went into his intestines and killed him. It happens every year. Veterinarians will tell you that there are 3 busy days in their business, and Thanksgiving night and Thanksgiving day after are the busiest, because an animal gets into the trash, or someone from the table with good intentions feeds them something, which you need to just tell everybody at the beginning of the meal. Look, guys, don't feed the dog. Give him a pat on the head. Tell him he's a good boy or a good girl, but do not feed the dog. Turkey skin, gravy, drippings, turkey bones, stuffing, ham, corn on the cob, onions, garlic, sage, nutmeg, raisins, grapes, candied yams, nuts, butter, bread, dough. Everything that's on that table is not good for them. Oh, it's not going to be a problem to give them a little piece of turkey. Well, yeah, you probably have sage and nutmeg and garlic all over that turkey. So guys, it's a really, really stressful time for our animals. Please, please, please go to the Telegram room. Kukla will have this posted. It's been up there a couple times, and just print it out and hand it out. Think about, what if you saved one dog, just one, because they saw this list and said, oh, wow, I didn't know I couldn't give them chocolate. I didn't know, or I secured the trash extra carefully this year because I didn't want my dog to get that corn on the cob roll or whatever was in there. So it is a tough time for our animals. The chill doggies will definitely help calm them down. You should have them on hand for the whole holiday season. Nobody wants an animal that's jumping all over and going crazy. Think about being a dog or a cat. All of these new smells in the house, everybody bustling around in the kitchen. It's hectic. Tensions are high. We know that. Then all the people start arriving. It's hard on our little fur babies. It's really hard on them. And the last thing I want to do is lock my dog into another part of the house. I want him to be out and about, but I want him to be able to enjoy it. So the chill doggies will just chill the doggy. So we want you all to have a fantastic Thanksgiving. We're so excited to be here. Make sure that you go to MarkZPets.com and check out what we have. There's so many more questions here. Please, please, please email me. I will get back to you within 24 hours. The question of, can the human mushroom capsules open and be put into our lab's food? 100% yes. 1 capsule per 50 pounds. Open it up, put it in their food. The one thing they're going to miss by not using the mush ponies or the mush puppies or the mush puppies plus, they're going to miss that incredible glucosamine, chondroitin, and keratin, which is so good for their movement, and especially if they're an older dog. But Kristen, I'm going to turn it back over to you to close out, talk a little bit about our affiliate program. And we're just excited to be here, Mark. We love your community. They've become like family to us. And Kristen, let's close it out.
Yeah, and really quickly, I saw someone ask a question if it will interact with what they're taking from the gurus. It does not. It does not interact with any other medications, treatment, supplements. It's no different from eating a mushroom on a salad. So it's going to be just a food that you're adding to the body as well. But excuse me, I just wanted to close out with our advocate program, because we are looking for advocates that are going to help us go advocate for the health of both pets and people. We truly believe we are a part of the restoration of creation, and that's our mission, is to change the way that pets and people are being treated. And it has by far been the most meaningful and gratifying work that I've done, being a part of this movement that's just sweeping through, people standing up, being a voice for those that don't have one. And we're disrupting a lot of industries at the same time and really changing the way that things are done. And so if what we're doing resonates with you, or you know someone that it might resonate with, please connect them with us. You can reach out to us at the original MarkZPets@gmail.com. We'd be happy to share with you about our affiliate program, our rewards program. But we just truly believe if we can redirect the spending that's already happening, people are already buying foods and treats and toys and medications and supplements and treatments. This is already happening. So if we can redirect spending and get those resources into good people's hands, like the people in this MarkZ community, that's how we can affect change on a local level. Stop giving it to all of the big companies and the national retailers and online sellers and start giving it to the people. Then we can really empower families and empower neighborhoods to change the way things are going and make a huge impact. So please reach out to us if that's something that you're curious about, or if what I'm saying is resonating with you. Thank you, Diana, for bringing
and
that up.
I just saw someone said they were trying to order and couldn't figure it out. MarkZPets.com. If you have any problems, reach out to me at the original MarkZPets@gmail.com, and we will help you through it. Again, thank you, Mark, for all that you do. We're so excited to be here. And, you know, by ordering on MarkZPets.com, you give us the resources to do the kind of things that we've been able to do in the name of this community. We were able to donate to Fernando, and we've been able to donate on every time that Kukla's done an amazing fundraiser. We want to continue to be able to do that, and that gives us the resources to do that. So again, thanks a lot, Mark. We love you, we appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you next month.
I will see you guys next month. Have an awesome Thanksgiving. If I don't get to talk to you before, there's a good chance you'll find Donna in chat. She hangs out with us too.
I do.
But thank you, ladies, very much. For the rest of you folks, if there's breaking news, I'll do another one. But if not, I will see you tomorrow morning. Nothing scheduled until tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. Bye, everybody.
Bye.